am hustling, 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 hustling,
It's your
hustling,
boy,
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, hustling, hustling. Every
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news and analysis. Without any further ado, let's bring the action. If you're watching live, spam that like button, hit that share. If you're watching post, make sure you guys drop a follow, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. Let's bring the action. All right. All right. Big bombshell from Senator Bill Hagerty. Says crypto stablecoins issuers will be the largest holder of U.S. treasuries in the world. What does this mean? This means that crypto, stablecoins, USDC, USDT is going to be directly correlated to the strength of the US dollar. Directly correlated to the strength of the US dollar. If they are the largest holders of treasuries, aka bonds, this means they are the ones that will be keeping the US dollar afloat. All right. President Trump says Russia wants to do a large-scale trade deal with the United States. And again, I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Show me the charts. I will tell you the news. Everyone assumed that it was going to be bad. The tariffs were going to be bad. And I said, the charts look like we're bottoming. So I have to assume that it's going to be a net positive for the United States and for the world. But we will see. We'll more to follow on that. Trump says talks between Ukraine and Russia to immediately stop the war start now. Listen, I am pro-peace. I am hoping for this. I don't care who it comes from. If it comes from the left or the right, I do not care. I am pro-peace. I am as anti-war as you come. Okay, I've been there, done that, bought a t-shirt. There's no winners. So if we could get rid of this conflict, I think that is a net positive for the entire world, regardless of who you are in favor of. Jamie Dimon says they will allow customers to buy Bitcoin first, right? What's the saying? It's first they laugh at it, and then they oppose it, and then they join it. Okay, this is the... And then they join it. How many times did Jamie Dimon say that crypto was stupid, Bitcoin was stupid? Slowly, surely, and then suddenly. And we're rapidly going into the and then suddenly phase of this game. Okay? U.S. government launched investigation into Coinbase customer data theft. I've said this to you guys before. Data is gold. Data is the new oil. All these companies, Coinbase is not the only one. Selling your data is ridiculous. And there needs to be some sort of bill that's put out for that, in my opinion. But we'll see how this goes as well. Bybit. Now, this is a massive deal. Bybit has become the first major crypto exchange to offer direct global stock trading with USDT, launching access to the top 78 equities like Apple, Tesla, and Amazon. Basically, what this means is on the same place, you are going to be able to buy crypto and stocks and trade them via futures, all in the same exchange. This is a massive deal. Massive deal. I've talked about, I think that futures are exponentially better than options, because not only do you need to be, with futures, you're right or you're wrong. That's the end of the equation. If you bet it's going to go up in price, you're either right or it's wrong. If you bet it goes down in price, you're either right or you're wrong. That's the end of the equation. Options is not like that. Not only do you need to be right or wrong, but you also need to be right or wrong in the allotted time, and you have to be more right than the market anticipates. So in my opinion, winning at futures is a much more sustainable and easy game to play rather than options. But that is my opinion. Latest 1% of the US dollar supply is now tokenized on stablecoins. So there's over $239 billion of tokenized US dollar, M2, that is now on the blockchain. Slowly, surely, suddenly, and then exponentially. Justin Tron just passes up Ethereum in US dollar token circulation, claiming the top spot for USDT in total supply. Listen, we talked about Ethereum. We're going to talk about Ethereum today. We're going to get into the charts of the TA. We're going to look at XRP. We're going to look at Ethereum. We're going to look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance, all of that stuff. Sooner or later, one of these coins is going to pass Ethereum. I don't think it's this time around. Maybe the next time around. But sooner or later, one of these coins is going to pass Ethereum. Okay? That's just my opinion. We'll see. And speaking of charts and crypto, coffee, let's get into the charts, and then we'll get into your guys' comments, questions, concerns. And we'll start it off with Bitcoin, which as of the time of recording is sitting at $105,300. And we had a lot of manipulation yesterday. Make no mistake about it. We had a bull trap, and then we had a bear trap. Okay, so we're in this... We're in a bull flag right now, and yesterday we had a breakout of the bull flag, and then we had a fake out, okay? And then it went all the way back to the bottom of the range, and now is making a higher body candle than what we got yesterday. And if we look on the daily, this is now the second highest daily body candle that Bitcoin has ever had. Okay, now I know it only wicked up to 107,000, and the highest that it's ever wicked to was 109,000, right? But if we look at that candle, that body of that candle was all the way down at 103,000. This is the second highest body candle that Bitcoin has ever had. And in my opinion, the second we get a daily body above 106.37, that is going to start the next leg. What we see from Bitcoin, it is slow, it is grueling, and then it is sudden. Okay? It is slow, grueling, and then it is sudden. In my opinion, Bitcoin is working on phase E of Wyckoff. Okay, so we had our accumulation, which is the bottoming structure. We already got our sign of strength, and this is now the start of phase E. This should take us to 118,000 in my opinion. And this could be quick, right? We have the biggest conference in the world coming up. It could be like in the next week or two. Okay? When we look at Bitcoin dominance, though, 63.9%. Okay, in my opinion, the opposite for Bitcoin. So what is the stipulation for alt season? Bitcoin must be making an all-time high. In my opinion, we're right there. We're at the doorstep. And stipulation is there for that to happen. And then Bitcoin dominance must be falling. Okay, so the reason that I think that Bitcoin is going into an all-time high is because of Wyckoff accumulation. Well, what is the opposite of Wyckoff accumulation? Well, of course, that is Wyckoff distribution. And in my opinion, we are deep in Wyckoff distribution. You have your buying climax, your upthrust goes higher than the buying climax, your UTAD in phase C goes higher than the upthrust. That's what Bitcoin dominance has gotten. Okay? And then if we look at it, you have this first little plunge here. And then you make a higher low. This is about the 618, maybe the 702 from the top to the bottom right here. In my opinion, that's where we're at. We're at the 618. So can we roll over and make a lower low? That would be confirmation of my theory as to where Bitcoin dominance is at. Okay. I also think that right now, as of the time of recording, Ethereum is just a beat or two behind Bitcoin. Right? So Bitcoin was on the downtrend. Ethereum was on this downtrend. Bitcoin breaks out, chops. I'll show it to you right here. There it is. On the top is Ethereum. On the bottom is Bitcoin. Same exact structure. Bitcoin is just a beat or two ahead. Downtrend, downtrend, accumulation, accumulation. Break of the downtrend, chopping sideways. Break of the downtrend, chopping sideways. One leg higher, chopping at the sign of strength. Chopping at the sign of strength. and then another leg higher, chopping again before continuing your phase E. In my opinion, this is where Ethereum is at right now. Okay. And I would argue this was a bear trap. This is a bear trap because a lot of traders, what they'll do is they'll go like this. They'll say, well, right here's the line in the sand. I'm going to draw the line in the sand. If we go below this, we're cooked. Here's the line in the sand. Boom. If we go below that, we're cooked. All the stop losses are right there. What do market makers do? There's predator, there's prey. In this game, there's predator, there's prey. What do the market makers do? They say, where is that line in the sand? We're going to go there. We're going to wreck the bulls. We're going to wreck the bears. Okay, so in my opinion, what just happened with Ethereum was a bear trap. And this is a very strong candle right now. Confirmation of a bear trap is going to be 2,600. That will be confirmed. Bear trap. Got you. Gotcha. But I like where Ethereum is at. I think that it is vastly oversold at this point and is a beat or two behind Bitcoin. And if that is true, we could expect Ethereum in the very short term to get to about $3,300. Okay. $3,300. And we'll kick it off with XRP, and then we'll get into your guys' questions, comments, concerns. XRP, in my opinion, has officially broken this fractal that we've been talking about. It was in a downtrend. It is now in an uptrend, and it has back tested again this. So this is a pretty good value for XRP relatively, like in the short term, not in the so much in the long term, in my opinion. But it back tested this trend that is following right now. It was in a downtrend and is now in an uptrend. The next leg is going to take us back to about $3, in my opinion. In the medium term for XRP, we're going to $5, $8, all that. So with that, let's get into your questions, comments, and concern. And if you're watching post, make sure you guys hit that bell icon and subscribe.